So what's the number of this now? How many Gundam?
This is the 4th of the Gundam Dynasty Warriors Gundam series.
But it's not called Dynasty Warriors Gundam 4. It's called Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn.
Yeah.
What's being reborn?
So I actually had to look it up because I haven't played any of those 3 prior Gundams. They got in like a cartoony direction. They started cell shading, and
I would hope they were going a cartoony direction.
Yeah, they didn't though. The Rebirth is like, no, we're going back to realistic stuff. And the reason they went cell shaded apparently is to add more enemies on the screen, which I think is what Dynasty Warriors is about. And they said, we're going back to our realistic. We're rebirthing this series, and there are going to be fewer enemies on the screen. So your Gundams look more realistic.
How many Dynasty Warriors games do we get usually, Gundam or otherwise?
Oh, do you mean in the office?
Just in the industry, like is that like an annual franchise? Yeah, we get those.
It's kind of annualized because they'll do different versions of each Dynasty Warriors. You know what I mean? Like Dynasty Warriors 8 will have a couple, I think.
It is one of those franchises. I'm trying to think of another one where you totally lose track of like how long it's been and how many they're releasing. Tekken, we got a debut of Tekken this week. Really exciting. Tekken 7. You know, like we've gotten Tag Tournament and all sorts of other like offshoot Tekken games, but it still has that core franchise. Did they just stop numbering Dynasty Warrior games at some point, or like is there actually
They're still numbering them? Yeah.
Okay. So there won't be a Dynasty Warriors Gundam 5. There'll be like a Reborn 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're totally wiping the slate clean.
Something else. Yeah, right. Like they'll just come up with new words.
Did you watch yourself some Gundam?
I watched myself some Gundam. Yeah, Gundam's it's such a great series. You know what? What's funny, and is why I think this is a bad mashup. Gundam is actually a lot about the humans in those giant robots. I love giant robots, but a lot of it is just like, oh my god, I'm killing people. A lot of Gundam is about war, and then this game is just about killing as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. Yeah. And so there's really, if you're a fan of this series, a strange disconnect. It's like, yes, I get to be in this robot, but however, I'm just slashing through enemies like.
So they're all people too. Like, do you ever fight any just robots, like any like things that are just
you fight some
sentries or turrets or whatnot?
Most of the time, yeah. There's pilots in there. You know what I mean? And
do they scream horribly when they die?
No, they don't. And that's actually what I love about this series is that like even just like a normal just regular one, they'll like slash through this guy's giant robot, and then you'll see a shot of the pilot go no, and he blows up. And you feel that, you know what I mean? And that's what's like missing from turning this into a Dynasty Warriors game. Is just you lose that whole aspect of Gundam. So
they do that in the cartoon, but they don't do that in the. Oh, I thought so they did that in the game.
The game needs that.
That'd be so great.
It needs that so bad.
Obviously you could take out like 5 at a time. So it'd be great if it wasn't. It did do like a cutaway, but did like a picture-in-picture. So you try to combo as many screaming faces.
You kill hundreds at a time at some point, and it's like. To see each of their faces, I would love it.
1,000 voices cry out in pain, and we're suddenly silenced.
Yeah. So it's a weird thing. What's weird about this game, and I realized why I felt like unfulfilled at the end, is you don't interact with this game any more than killing things. In most other games, you're at least like jumping on platforms or solving puzzles or finding a way through this. This you are strictly killing things, and really the only decision making comes down to. Do I keep killing things here? And then like there's an alert behind you and it's like, oh, do I go over there to kill those things to help those people? And then,
well, Hyrule Warriors is going to be like that.
That's what scares me. I'm a little scared about Hyrule Warriors. This is my first Dynasty Warrior game as well.
Okay.
Hyrule Warriors, it seems like they're at least trying to infuse more Zelda in there of like, going to temples and finding items and stuff like that.
Because ironically, in the PS2 era, Dynasty Warriors... I remember the first Dynasty Warriors game I ever played. A friend of mine wanted me to play it purely because, like, you should see the size of these battlefields. It's crazy. Like, there's stuff happening. It's like an RTS, but you're in it, and like, it takes so long for you to get from like one side of the battlefield. I was watching one of the Hyrule Warriors gameplay clips, and something popped up. It's like, oh, this base is getting attacked, and now you like brought up the mini map to see where it was, and I'm like, screw that. That's really far away. If the size that you're in right now is just that little corner there. So it is funny that it is, somewhat repetitive to people. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised, certainly, about the fact that all you do is kill people.
I should have known that coming in.
That's kind of like that's what they do.
And it's so flat. It's so flat.
And always dangerous to say, as like an editorial voice to be like, what's with this game when like it's what they do, it's what their fans love.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's what they followed like the whole time. Okay, so we've gotten the Gundam series. Zelda's now taking a crack at it. Mm-hmm. And in 5 years, are we going to get Hyrule Warriors Reborn?
Yeah.
Is this gonna be a franchise? We getting
I bet it'll
sequels
be.
to this?
I don't know. It seems like they're going all out with Hyrule Warriors. It seems like they're gonna like tap the entire Zelda franchise and run out of bonus characters. I don't know what they would do for a sequel. And with this one,
they would bring all of them back, and they would all do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like so, this game it's got 2 modes. One's called Official, and one's called Ultimate.
In Hyrule?
Sorry, in Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn. So Ultimate is just like, it's the what if universe. It's like, what if all these Gundams from different universes, like you could fight all the Gundams. And Official is just like you're playing through series. But I guess, Zelda could go in that Ultimate direction where it's just like, what if? It is already that, actually. It's non-canon. So I don't know, man. What does any of it mean? It's so weird because even in the official universe, I'm still, Camille is just blowing through dudes. Oh my gosh. I don't know, man. It doesn't feel like Gundam. I could get it as its own thing, but it's so weird.
So how's it structured? You mentioned that you played like just one part of like a 5-part thing, or
so so in the official universe, I only played through Zeta Gundam just to see what that's like, and it's very short. It's a whole series of an anime compressed into like 5 missions, maybe 6, and so it's weird. It definitely feels weird. You're skipping through a lot of things. None of it makes sense unless you've watched it. They'll have like you kind of like those cutscenes that are stills where like there's text underneath.
Right.
They'll do those in between. And there's like, you can upgrade your Gundams, so, your pilots level up and your Gundams level up, but most of it's, not very meaningful. It's cool to get new abilities for sure, but the way that you like upgrade your parts is like absurdly silly.
Just simple or just
absurdly,
like extraneous?
Yeah, kind of.
Or?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you get parts by doing combos in space, and then you like combine the parts into new parts, and then like, oh yeah, I have an A rank arm now. Yeah.
Silly's a funny word to attach something in a game. Need to be more specific than silly.
You're right. Yeah,
that's just silly.
Everything's silly. You're right.
I wonder what Kyle meant by that. Are you gonna play any others? What did you play this on?
I played this on PS3.
Are you gonna play more of it? Are you gonna play? If they make another Reborn 2, are you gonna play Reborn 2?
Over the weekend, I played a little more, and I said, you know what? That's not. I had enough. I officially got to this point. I don't like doing like the alternate universe what if stuff. To me, that takes out the entire motivation behind the character I'm playing as. This is ridiculous. I realize this is when I start sounding absurd, is I care about the character I'm playing as, you know what I mean? And so when you're in an alternate universe, just slashing through Gundams or mobile suits becomes especially meaningless when it's just a what if universe. So it's like none of this is happening to me, and so it's just I really set the controller down faster than if I'm playing through and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to I gotta stop AU,
So you're shell shocked, is what you're saying.
I'm shell shocked.
You've had so much war.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah. And
I'm gotta put that controller down one of these days.
Frankly, I'm worried to see Zelda and Link could be just as careless
bloodthirsty,
about.
ruthless.
Yeah, just take this, moblins, you little meaningless creatures. Blah blah. Oh my god, I'm worried about it. I'm worried about a game like that, and it's definitely a genre. It's its thing, but man.
I can't wait to bring you back in and talk about Hyrule Warriors then if you're worried. Yeah. I hope you don't like it, Kyle. I hope you don't like it a lot.
Yeah.
I hope you don't like it and everyone else does.
But moblins are evil. Let's just say that.
Like Goombas. What does everybody got against Goombas? These poor things, man.
So I'm going to feel a little bit
kind of angry, but maybe that's just the way their eyebrows are, What are you going to do?
Well, see, those things will kill you unless you Gundam's about seeing the other side. Zelda's never about seeing the other side. It's never about man, what are those moblins about? It's never about that.
So, play Gundam because it's fun, but be emotionally prepared. Realize what you're doing. Understand the stakes if you're really going to invest in it long term. I don't think you could have made it past 4 more chapters.
I'm not sure I could have. I don't know what I would have come out as. I don't know.
You don't need this line of Kleenex boxes in front of you. Say a prayer before you go to bed. I'm sorry for all of the Gundams I killed today.
Rebirth 2 definitely have cutscenes of showing everyone you kill.
Or Reborn 2.
Yeah. Reborn. Rebirth. I would have preferred Rebirth, I think.
Yeah.
Reborn is it's already happened. Rebirth is you're a part of this rebirth.
It's a funny thing to take 2 things, make it a thing, make a couple of those, and then rebirth that.
Yeah.
But that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm happy cell shading's gone. If you're sick of cell shading, come back to the Dynasty Warrior Gundam series.
Well, if you're emotionally up for it, I'd like to have you back to talk about more Dynasty Warriors mashup games in the future.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Bossman.
Thank you.
安いぞ少年私を迷わせようとするとは生意気な